Welcome everybody to your first English episode of Nacion Kayfabe. Joining me in this very special episode is the original tribal chief. Forget about Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. We got our own Eddie Don Rojo, and I am your wrestling Bible, LTS.
Indeed, and welcome everybody to this very requested
Very
uh
requested it was.
side of Nacion Kayfabe. And the best way that we can start with this is a lot of things happened this past week from January 13th to the 17th with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. And hey, idiot, put this guy. Let's
It's
go.
already starting.
Man, this
Oh,
is
there we go. You see,
unbelievable.
not even 2 minutes in, and we're already starting with the BS.
So let me say something. As soon as Raw ended on Monday, people were already complaining about the time frame. That they were saying that 2.5 hours wasn't enough. But these were the same people that has been complaining for years about that Raw was too long and that it was too much and all that. So what's it going to be?
People are never satisfied. Last week's episode was a little over 3 hours live because it's not 3 hours right now. This episode ended a little over 2.5. So, which to me was fine because I was actually surprised of what they was gonna do after the main event, which we'll get up to shortly.
Yes.
But I felt like it was a real rounded up show in terms of time.
Okay, it was. And then when we start this episode with CM Punk and all that, and yada yada yada, and then I think it started really strong, but then with Rollins coming out and going back again to the same script, and then everybody's is gonna go to the Royal Rumble now, which is fine, but then Drew comes out for what? I mean, for me, it didn't make any sense, and I think this in ring promo was it's not gonna be something that's gonna matter as a Royal Rumble goes, for me at least.
Yeah, because Seth Rollins came out complaining, as we mentioned, and then Drew McIntyre also came out to waste everybody's time, saying how he's beating everybody, but everybody's beating everybody at what point? They never got to the point. Yes, the Royal Rumble is about 2 weeks away. Promote that. Yes, all three of you go into the Rumble, but what's your point?
Exactly, and I think it was a little bit empty. Because CM Punk did it right, but then I was waiting for Rollins and Drew to complete that as a whole, and it's like, oh, this is really important because Cena made a huge statement that this is the only way that he can do this and do that, and then Punk was the same. No, I need to make it to the WrestleMania main event and all that, and then Rollins was like, no, I'm gonna steal this from you, and then Drew, it's not enough for me.
Seth Rollins felt he's like on sour grapes.
Yeah,
Just because he lost the match to the worst version of himself, which
is I can't say
is
that
bullshit.
exactly.
I'm sorry. It was complete bullshit. What version were you then?
Then
You lost.
he had the chance to transition himself to any version of whatever he wanted to, and he came back to the same thing. Then it's your fault that you lost. Don't put it in anybody else. So I don't know. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Well, we all know what was going to happen in the next. We got 2 weeks to go for the Rumble, so let's see what happens.
We'll see, bro. Let's go to one of the biggest things that happened this past week. Penta is in WWE, and he and Shaq Gable, pure poetry for me. There was, yeah, there were people saying, "Oh, this happened." Then you go ahead and do it yourself. I mean,
Here's the thing: Penta debuting. It was the best thing that happened this week. But actually they gave it time. I think if I would have count how many minutes, I've been searching how long it was. I think they gave it a good 15 minutes to the match. And I think you mentioned poetry. I think Bret Hart would have said the same thing because you know how Bret Hart, as pure as he is, he likes to give those descriptions. But yes, it was for a debut. Penta, we got to give credit to both. Penta, he looked like $1,000,000, and Chad Gable helped him to get to that level. Like we got to give props to the Chad Gable also.
yeah, and and also if they communicated a lot throughout the match, and Gable was giving him, hey, calm down, let's do this properly, because the WWE pacing is way different than anywhere else. So great, 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 great match, and I think for me it's gonna be one of the greatest debuts I've ever seen, and the match was 13 minutes, 1-3.
13. See, almost. I was close. It
Then,
was long.
so let me ask you this, and all of our people that wanted this episode for so long, and we're gonna try to continue this as much as we can. Um, what would have happened if this match would have happened in the the first episode on Netflix? For me, it would have been lost in between Cena, in between Rock, in between everything else.
Of course it would. It would have been lost in the shuffle. There's no doubt about it.
So for all the people that were complaining about it, there you go. This is why they waited another week.
If they would have gave him 5 minutes or less, oh, what a debut! The debut sucked. They was gonna complain anyways.
Yeah. So there you go. So um, thumbs up. I'm really happy for Penta, and then everything he said. Um,
Afterwards, the promo, yes, I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that. The promo, I was not expecting it. I was, probably just get props up, but when they gave him time to actually talk, I
that
guess
was And
because
when he turned into Spanish, that was beautiful, man. And you know how much of a fan I am of a bilingual wrestler, then goes to their native, to the native tongue, and then talk to his people in this case, and his family was there. And then one of my favorite moments in the match was when Pat McAfee screamed "Mexican Destroyer." Man, that was on point,
and the way Chad Gable sold it. This is how you
bro.
know that Chad Gable is a hell of a worker.
Yeah.
The way he sold that Mexican destroyer. Well, let's call it Mexican destroyer or Penta destroyer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it was great. So now it's the Penta new era, and
Of
then
course.
people were like Cero Miedo. So hey, man,
But yeah, Zero. Yeah.
great.
No fear. Then we
So
get then
you'll
we get
see.
to a segment of Judgment Day that
Nobody,
basically points
no,
nowhere.
nobody cares.
It's just more of the bickering.
Yeah, and then we go to Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. This is past due, man. I don't care about this anymore. They're
The,
just
the
trying to recreate the thing that Sheamus did with Cesaro a while back. This is not working.
and it's not only that. The difference between that, what you mentioned, the Cesaro's Sheamus rivalry, the best of seven, and this one, that was a best of seven.
This is the
That
best of
that was
2000.
uh, And this was a fourth match, but it's like the way it's spread out, and they even had a rubber match with Sheamus won. Like, what's your point? Unless it doesn't give him direct a contendership. Excuse me, a
Oh
direct
yeah.
contendership, or some reason. Why are they fighting?
Why are they fighting? And then so if Sheamus, you know, finishes on top, what's gonna happen? If Kaiser finishes on top, what's gonna happen with him? What there's no there's no point. There's no
Th-
point. So
this was exactly filler. This was exactly what it was. It was filler. Sheamus
yeah,
probably needed a win, and Kaiser hasn't been out in a couple of weeks. So let's give him something to do.
yeah,
That's how I see it.
yeah. Sheamus won the match. Nobody cares. Now, um, Karrion Cross with Adam Pierce. Man, Karrion Cross is he's doing great, man. But they something needs to happen with him. They need to do something, bro. I don't know.
Quietly, I've been saying it for years that what Karrion Cross is doing, a lot of people are sleeping on him. That's my main thing,
Oh
and
yeah,
now I think people are starting to notice it.
yeah. Finally, it's
Yeah, after how long? And
been a
to be
while.
honest, I've been a fan of his for years,
Oh yeah.
since his time. Hell, while he was in Impact, TNA, and the Indies before WWE had an eye on him. When he was doing his shtick, as one would say.
Oh yeah. So then finally something happened when Gunther. He came out. He started, his thing out in the ring and all that. And he took a shot at Roman. He took a shot at CM Punk. And then he basically put over his title. Hey, the only thing that matters is this.
Which is
And
something. And I'm sorry to interrupt. Which is something that he needed to fucking do since he became champion. He's been champion since SummerSlam, and honestly, with a few matches here and there, he's been this title reign has been lackluster. But
mhm,
this promo right here is what's needed to elevate him as to be an important world champion.
mhm,
And I saw that.
yeah, same. And you know why? It's just because I think they gave him the green light this past week. Finally, he could talk the way he talked before, and the difference was night and day for me. And if you don't believe me, Jay Uso comes out, and bro, you know what happens? It's like, well, you're a great tag team wrestler, bro.
That's all he had to do. That's the bullet that he had.
He took a shot, he made it, and main event is only your
In name, main event is only in name. Main event is what I do. Like, with that, you killed it. You killed his nickname.
so how is that? Because they're gonna face each other at Saturday night's main event. Does after this promo, does Jay has a chance against?
Absolutely not.
That's exactly what I thought. Okay,
And I'm just being honest. He might have the crowd, but eh,
that's not enough. It's not
yeah,
enough.
you gotta do it in the ring also.
Oh yeah. So that's what happened, and then let's talk about the women's IC uh match.
The finals between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria.
Can't complain.
Oh no, the match was good, and the result that I kind of figured when they made these tournaments for the respective women titles, I think I predicted who will win each title. We all predicted that SmackDown would be Chelsea with the US.
Hmm.
Here, I kind of predicted, probably you guys did also, that Lyra would take the title. And I
But
and I
what I don't really want is that they do the same thing they're doing with the U.S. title on the other side. If you know, Lyra won this one, a great match and everything, but I just don't want that now Dakota is gonna be, give me another chance, give me this and that. No, because they're gonna repeat the same thing.
well, let's hope
So,
not.
well, you know how it is.
Well, let's hope not. I think just get one match and that's it.
Hopefully,
Because I think there are plenty of contenders on the Raw side. Hell, if they even bring from NXT to for her to go down there and give shots for the title. Who knows?
even more than that, if you think about it, if you think about it, it is something that is supposed to open up everything. Because right now, that's the problem. Lyra has been doing great, and I think this is the opening for Kiana James to appear on Raw.
She should. She's been gone for months now,
So,
and for two reasons.
oh yes,
I would say three, but it's actually two reasons.
yeah,
If you
it's
don't
true.
believe me, go on the net and search.
Yes. So yeah, the first ever women's IC champ, Lyra Valkyria. So it was great. And man, let me tell you, that suplex from the apron to the
Mm.
fuck? Easy now.
I know that there's one thing to really go for it. In my honesty, I was watching the match on my way home. I was walking towards in front of the building that I live at. When I saw that, I had to stop and kind of like I winced of how yeah, because one you wasn't expecting something like that, and then you do it to somebody that is injury prone as Dakota.
Hmm.
Like, let's just hope she don't start cracking like glass now. But that was a hell of a
Again,
spot. Let me tell you that. Yeah, exactly. Again, because I think they would have gone with Dakota if she wasn't a liability. But nah, they decided to play safe and Lyra, despite her last um big moment was Queen of the Ring,
hmm
her momentum never faded out. I know there's people out there say, "Oh no, she faded." No, she never did. They just paused her momentum.
and it's kind of funny because it was a timing issue more than anything else. So I I just think this is the best way to open up that door to all the ladies that haven't been doing anything, because this story between Rhea and Liv deteriorated everything. So now is the time to have a chance and to show that we have a lot of people that deserve to have that opportunity to be, shown and to see what they can do. So hopefully that happens. Not like this next match, which was the Miz versus Sami Zayn, which nobody cares. The only thing that I care about is that finally Sami won with the Haluva kick and the Blue Thunder Bomb, which is the way I like it. Set it up with the kick, and then 1, 2, 3 with the Blue Thunder Bomb. So
Yeah,
kudos to you.
which I never understood. I know the Helluva kick. Once you get caught and you get knocked out, but uh, people always use the Blue Thunder Bomb as a finisher, but except for Sammy. And the way this match came about is basically the Miz telling him the truth. after Sami Zayn trying to be the savior of everyone. And then the Miz, and people that have known me for years know how much I hated the Miz. Hated because not anymore. It already cooled off.
For now,
Base, eh, he has to do something really to make me hate him again. And I think at this point, it might surprise a lot of people.
your hate is reserved for Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, I'm just waiting for his stupid ass to
When
arrive so I can hit
when
it
is
even
that
more.
guy gonna show up, man?
I don't know
Yeah.
because they gave the promo that is appear on Raw. It's been 2 Raws already and nothing.
Nowhere to be found.
And I would not be surprised if he appears at the Rumble and he appears at the Raw after that. I would not be surprised.
Ouch.
Yeah, because he's asking for quote unquote asking for a ridiculous amount of money to match for because he has a fight with Conor McGregor, but that's another story for another day.
Mm.
But anyways, the Miz basically told Sami Zayn I'm something that you're not twice and has been world champion. Sami Zayn had to tuck his tail between his legs and walk away.
Spinning facts.
No,
Spinning facts, baby.
that's what I mean. Like, I can't hate the Miz for that. I can't say, "Oh, why would you say something like that?" It's true. Unfortunately, it's true.
I think it's more than that, and I think it's the when you think about it, uh, the Miz can rely on this type of things because he can back it up. So, but this match afterwards, I don't know, man. For me, no thanks. And just so we know, Saturday night's main event is going to be Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. We'll see. And then Gunther against Jay.
Made official for there's a reason why they put Saturday night's main event a week before the Rumble because we all know the Rumble's gonna have four matches, and Saturday night's main event is just like, oh, this is what's supposed to be at the Rumble, but it won't be. But let's just put it on a special event.
Yeah.
Basically.
Then we get to this part of wasting more time when Rhea Ripley comes out and mommy's always is back on top. You can be mommy if you don't have a puppy.
But first of all, let me stop you right there. Rhea, you're not mommy anymore because the real mommy comes out shortly after.
Oh my gosh. Oof.
The real mommy comes out. I don't care. You've been calling yourself that for about 2 years. The fans been calling you that, but to us, that's wifey right there. The real mommy, Nia Jax, comes
Damn.
out.
Damn, bro.
I know what you're thinking. Trust me, I did not say a word during that segment. I'm like, and you know what's funny? People used to make fun of her weight, but what she was wearing, I don't think people were making fun of her there.
She looked fucking
I'm
perfect.
just saying.
Man, damn, bro.
But that did not end there because we're at the SAP Center in San Jose, California.
And of course,
And who else had to be there?
white rice.
Bailey was in the crowd
Nobody cares.
watching the show. So Nia basically pushed Rhea to the side and basically insulted Bailey and the town, obviously, to get heat. So what that ended up was a brawl, which well, at the end, Ripley and Bailey stood tall. So this solved nothing. Hell, this segment didn't even help for the women's Royal Rumble.
Nothing.
And speaking of Bailey, you're gonna be hearing a lot from her all this week. Trust me, once we get to our thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But then they were just going back at it with the BBL stuff and all that, yada yada. Whatever. Nothing happened. I don't care. So Raw is gonna be in Dallas next week. Yeah, I'm not going. It's gonna be cold as fuck here. So no thanks.
If it's gonna be cold in Dallas, imagine how cold it's gonna be up here in New York City. But
Yeah, man. But I mean, and one of the highlights is gonna be that the New Day is gonna be back in action. Who the fuck cares?
well, I kind of care in a sense of who they're gonna face because they were supposed to have a match 2 weeks ago. But that never happened.
Thank God. I mean, and now, so you're telling me that I was supposed to buy a ticket to see Kofi and his Dominican beer? Nah, no thanks, no thanks. Pass. And JBL is gonna be there, whatever. And then we're gonna have Seth Rollins against Drew, which nothing's gonna happen there.
If that's the main event, it's gonna end in a schmoz. We all know that.
Yeah.
And it's not a prediction; it's a spoiler, as a wise man said.
Main event time: Damian Priest, Finn Balor.
A street fight.
Street fight. I don't
I
know.
think the street fight wasn't bad, but I thought that it could have been done more. I thought somebody was gonna come and interfere, but considering the fact that Damien, the last 2 minutes after all Judgment Day, he took him away. The way he dominated, like we should, this rivalry should end, but it should be done.
Hopefully, Damian Priest wins, and then
No, he didn't win. He annihilated him. The way he gave that South to Heaven chokeslam, especially the second one. After he said he's not his brother's keeper, I'm like, all right, you're gonna.
okay. Well, hopefully this means that they're not going back and face each other again because it doesn't make any sense. At least to me, it doesn't.
Nah, it doesn't. It does not actually.
Yeah. So this is the way the Raw ended. 2.5 hours, like we said when we started. So gladiator treatment. Thumbs up, down, or what? Thumbs up for me.
Yeah, it was a thumbs up. It was actually, the start, basically the new season. This officially starts the new season because last week, even though it was the new year, it was debut on Netflix, but most of the stuff was old rivalries. Not old rivalries, but some storylines had to come to a finish and it was starting, the WrestleMania season fresh. So I give it a thumbs up.
Cool. Same here. So let's go. What do you have?
We are heading to NXT.
Yeah.
Live from Orlando, Florida, January 14th.
Yeah.
And as Raw started with a promo, NXT started with a promo. But it started with our champion, the ruler of NXT, Femi.
Yeah, he's fucking great, man. He's great. He's great.
I'm actually glad that they gave him the title.
Yeah. And also it fits everything he does. And it was going great. It was going great. And it was like, oh, when people say that they didn't believe that this could happen, I always knew it was. I was like, holy what? Nice.
Even we knew it was gonna happen. It was only a matter of time.
Of course.
Thank God they didn't do it so quickly.
Oh yeah. And then everything went downhill. Well, no, not yet. Tony D'Angelo came out and oh, you know what? Yeah, you are the North American whatever and all that, but now I'm gonna face you, and it's gonna be Tony double belts. I'm like, okay, well, okay, I like it.
But basically the Don probably wants a shot because he was the one that ended his North American title reign. So who knows? It might happen again soon. And we all know that that was one of the best matches that he had when he lost it. But then everything went downhill from there. Because as soon as Tony D'Angelo was getting into, he was already in the ring. Ridge Holland decides to
Oh
to
my
get his
god.
carcass out and bore us to death.
And that wasn't the worst part though.
Oh no, no, no! I know it. Oh, trust me. Ridge
It's
is not the problem here because they get into a brawl, and all of a sudden, this Tatanka wannabe, Eddie Thorpe,
easy now. Easy now. Ugh.
because nah, listen, I I adore Tatanka, man. I watched him in the '90s, but when you have somebody like Eddie Thorpe who's trying to represent his people, he don't represent his people. So
No.
I don't know what's his deal. But anyways, Eddie Thorpe comes out of nowhere and knocks the champion down.
I don't know about that.
I feel offended.
Same. I don't know, man.
Eddie Thorpe, of all people, what the hell has he done to be in the main event picture?
Nothing.
Rich Holland, as much as I despise him too, at least he's done something to get to the main event.
Yeah. And he's
But
been
Thorpe,
around.
and he's been around also. But Thorpe, out of nowhere, like I hope it's not the higher ups. Or who I'm thinking is basically, oh, let's put Eddie Thorpe in. No,
Nope. Doesn't work like that.
doesn't work.
Mm.
It does not work that way.
No, 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 no. Not for us, at least.
No.
So, well, let's go a little bit faster here because I mean it was a pretty for me it wasn't the best NXT show, and then we're gonna get to the number one contender for the NXT Women's North American Championship, Shotzi against Stephanie Becker, and Shotzi uh, wins
Yeah,
because
this was an upset. I
nah,
consider this an upset.
yeah, not really because it wasn't a clean win, and her face when she realized that Fatal Influence was there in the mix when JC Gaines starts, and then Fallon Henley, whatever everybody knows. I guess she was like, "Oh, well, is this right? This?" So, eh, I don't know, man.
You mean the meme Fallon Henley because all she does is make faces.
Man,
Everything she does, she makes faces. She's gonna become a meme. But yeah, due to fatal influences interference, try not to get tongue tied here. Shotzi
is gonna
defeats
win the North American Championship.
in 2 weeks in Atlanta.
She will,
Well, if that's the case, then that's fine with me. Which it gets a worry out of my shoulder because Vaquer, we all want her to be at the top title.
of course.
I'm not saying nothing is wrong with this title, but if you bring in Vaquer, with not with this promise, but with the, to put her at the top, she should be going for the top title. And with
Agree.
Shotzi taking it away, I guess we still have that faith that it's gonna happen.
Agree.
Again, it's only a matter of when.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm not gonna, I'll, we'll just have to wait and see. There's nothing else we can do.
Of
Then
course.
after something that happened backstage, Ethan Page, gets basically annihilates Dante Chen. Nobody cares, honestly. Nobody cares because Ethan Page is still, you know, oh, what I did with the Rock and all. All right, thanks for nothing.
Basically ran in the coattails of that, like, bro, you just had a moment with the rock. So what? I know not everybody can have it, but we
So
don't care.
yeah. Then we get the Miss Jackson and Lash Legend against Unholy Union, and the Meta Girls. They win, and they are the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And it was a great match. It was really entertaining. The only thing I didn't like is that Unholy Union hasn't been on TV, and it didn't mean much to me.
Yeah, they just gotta throw them in there. Just let's get some opponents so that and to be honest, I didn't think the Meta girls were gonna win. I thought they was gonna give it to Unholy Union, but they gave it to Jackson and Lash.
I think they're gonna go to the main roster.
I know I've been saying that for weeks because the way they've been, even though it's been a while since they appeared on Raw or SmackDown, especially, I've been saying that they're just basically pushing them to the main roster. So I guess they should be heading to SmackDown soon enough, and they should because they're not doing nothing NXT.
Mm-mm.
Cause it's not like and they don't do anything with them. They're gonna get lost in NXT.
Mhm.
So I believe that they should just switch them to the main roster, SmackDown, and you have a whole batch of fresh talent they could work with, tag team or not. Because Lash, because Lash can go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So hopefully, if they're gonna do that, hopefully they have a plan to do everything properly, and that people can start, getting behind them and all that, because they have a lot of talent, and I know that they can be really, 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 really good up there. So, uh, after something that happened backstage with Cara Jade and Kalani Jordan, um, slap fest and all that.
Who of the two is the biggest complainer? Because uh, Cora doesn't sell for me.
No,
Like,
no, no.
and it's like she talks a lot and does nothing. Like, I don't know. I guess due to the injuries, we haven't been able to see her do much.
Mhm.
But then Kalani, on the other hand, I think she's in this transition. Oh, I should get my title. Oh, I never lost it because listen, you lost in a handicap match. Just work your way up. Stop whining.
So
That's not Van Dam like.
no, 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 no. Cara Jade over Kilani. Nobody cares, honestly. And then what everybody should talk about is the tag team match that we saw for the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Fraxium, Nathan and Axiom over OTM. After OTM backstage, they said that they were gonna win this, and they told Josh Briggs and Yoshiki. Well, nope, it didn't happen. And something I didn't really like when Fraxium wins, Big Joseph just said, "Oh, Fraxium survives." No, no, they didn't. Surviving would have been getting counted out after being, dominated or something. They they just retain.
I guess the reason Vic Joseph made the comment because yeah, that they survived. I guess my point of view is that we're talking about two small guys against two big guys as OTM because OTM they are big dudes,
Mhm.
and there was some point that they dominated half the part of the match. So I guess and then what the champions had to do in order to retain the titles, which I agree they did retain because they gave them their finishes and they pinned them clean as a whistle.
Oh yeah.
I guess what they had to do in order to retain it, I guess is what Vic Joseph was implying how they survived.
Mm.
I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to some people, but I guess he probably saw it that way because yes, surviving a team of that stature against a team of two tall guys,
Mhm.
two giants, two monsters, as you want to call it, you win not with a non-finish, with a roll up, with with some where a tag team partner does one move and then you end up in some sort of pin, that type of thing, or as you mentioned, either by DQ or count out. But they gave them their finishers
Exactly.
and they won.
That's not surviving.
I would say surviving, but not barely survive. That's a big difference. If you would have said barely survive, then I would be like, nah, no, it won't make any sense. But I guess it's more into that context. But yeah, it was a I thought they were gonna lose, but I guess with our special guest that was in the corner, DIY, since they decided to appear and they wanted to see how good the champions are. I guess they gave us
Mhm.
kind of an indicator.
Yeah, that's what I think it could happen, but I don't know, man. I just I just think it wasn't the right comment for me. But yeah, I mean,
I don't know. That's fine. That is completely understandable because, yeah, I would say I would say survived in a way, but again, I understand your context of why the comment doesn't fit into if they beat them but with their finishers and cleanly. So I get your drift.
yeah. So that's why I'm just saying that it wasn't my favorite comment, but I get it. I understood where it was coming from. What I didn't understand was Roxanne talking. Oh, Julia was the better woman. No, she wasn't. It was just a booking decision. Whatever. And then
To,
Bailey,
to,
for second night in a row, to do nothing, waste my time.
I don't know why before you go on, this was the main event segment. They should have just left it with the titles as the main event segment, but I would like to know why they left this Roxanne promo, which basically said, "Oh, in the past generation, you needed four horsewomen, and with this one, you needed her." Not really, Roxanne. There were a
No,
few.
no, yeah,
There were a few. Is that in your mind, you're the only one, and you better bring that energy if they're really gonna put you on the main roster. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit once we hit to Blue Land.
yeah. So this was the way this ended with they hit each other and all that. Nah, for me it was nothing.
And Fade to Black.
Yeah, NXT thumbs down for me. Oh, really? Okay, okay,
There were some moments. Not all of them not all of them were bad, in
okay,
my opinion, at least.
okay. Take us home.
And now we are headed to SmackDown, live from the Pechanga Arena in San Diego, California, January 17th. And for the third program in a row, we open with a promo, but this one is a given because who do we know is from San Diego? Well, somebody close to us, but who else lives in is from San Diego? None other than Rey Mysterio.
Of course.
You can't be in San Diego without Rey Mysterio. And basically, he just declares his entry into the Royal Rumble. Which, before I talk about this promo, uh, almost every year they always say that these Royal Rumbles are gonna be the most star studded and all this, all with all the talent. I think they're really trying to really push it this year because look who's in the Rumble as of this program. You got Roman Reigns, you got John Cena,
Mm-hmm.
you got CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Rey Mysterio, and I do believe I'm missing somebody. I think well they never mentioned. I think it was one of the Usos, but I know there's a couple few like not in the upper echelon, but like in the upper mid card echelon. But with all those first names I mentioned, they're really trying to put this as a really star-studded rumble, like to the likes of 92, 2004, or even
Yeah.
or even 2003.
Mm, like it. And it's something. It, it's gonna be the first Rumble not in January. So I think they're trying to make a statement. Not a
Yeah,
bad
that
statement, but a statement.
Well, a statement nonetheless, because yeah, this is the first Rumble in its 30 something year history
But it,
that's not held in January.
yeah, it was great. KO came out to basically to start messing around with Ray, and it was great. Owens is doing a great job, man. It's because Ray, he was like, "Well, you can face me for my title," and Ray was like, "Well, uh,
You're not the champion because that title is as no use. And so usually say that the KO he went off. Like, what do you mean? This is my title. I won this title fair and square. Yeah, sure.
well,
Sources say otherwise, but
well, he's doing much better than the right champion."
and then with my favorite type of title. Let's just be clear. Every time I see that title, I feel like a little kid inside.
Yeah,
Eh, eh, eh,
that's not the best version.
well, at least in my opinion, the winged eagle
Nah,
always be my favorite.
the
Anyone
one
who grew up with that title will understand.
the one after that one, that's the one.
That's a very close second for me, believe it or not. And I know the reasons why, but
We'll talk about that later. So then my heart stopped when I saw Bianca came out. Oh my god, she was looking hot as woo, bro. I was like, what is going on?
yeah, yeah. But Bianca was out there,
Yeah, man.
and it was because she was part of the first match, tag team match with Bianca and Naomi, the tag champions, so to speak,
Mm, sure.
against Candice LeRae and wifey, excuse me, Mami Naya again.
At the end, Candice LeRae was dropped and Naya went to the leg drop. She missed and she hit Candice. And then Naomi came in, Boba Bomb, Candice, and they won. Easy as that. Easy as that. I mean, simple. I don't care about this, honestly. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
good.
I was very surprised by that finish. Usually Naomi has that split leg moonsault, but she was using another move already. I'm like,
Yeah. But then, man, look, I was looking at Bianca the whole match, so I can't say anything else.
well, I don't blame you, bro. But she was out there. Let me tell you that.
Uh, then after we saw Big Jim against Carmelo Hayes. Nothing happened here because Jacob Fatu and Tamatonga.
Before that, Carmelo Hayes was cut. Usually he don't say nothing when he gets out, but he was actually cutting a promo on the way to the ring.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. And I went right through that because when they interrupted the match and nothing happened, no contest and all that, they basically they disappeared Jimmy. And then Carmelo was like, "Yeah, let's go." And then it was his turn, and then everything. So Tamatonga, Jacob, how many?
That's two.
Carmelo,
One.
who was this guy that didn't appear in NXT on Tuesday?
It wasn't whooped that. Excuse me. Trick Williams didn't make an appearance on this NXT this episode. Excuse me. Do you have a possibility he might appear pretty soon?
Yeah,
And basically, I'm hoping because,
they need each other, man.
of course, at this point they do.
They need each other.
And plus,
I'm not saying it like in a bad way, but it's needed, honestly. And hopefully this could be the one. This could be the one action that pushes that.
oh yeah, of course, because as you said, this match ended in no contest because Tamatonga and Jacob Fatu, decided to beat the crap out of Jimmy, and then Jacob Fatu lets loose on the mic again.
bro.
Uh,
Bro.
are we seeing the beginning of letting that they're letting Jacob loose, Mike wise?
Hopefully, I think it's needed, and I think it's time. It's time for them to let the people know what he's capable of.
Yeah, because that promo last week, something about some sort of nightmare,
Yeah.
like it wasn't Elm Street, like it's still hell. The name is close to the heart, so that's how much that promo impacted me last week.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And when he said that, even on my worst day, I'm better than. I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's not lying.
well, no, we know he's not, but for the people that haven't seen him outside of WWE, which they should check out before they let him loose, because once they let that werewolf loose, you got to be prepared what's coming. I'm just saying. No. Let me rephrase that. We're just saying.
I think it's
So,
gonna be really interesting.
and especially after what happened, he calls Solo out. Solo comes out for the first time since last week, and Jacob, before he hands the mic to Solo, he's telling the crowd to shut up, and they'll be, Solo would just leave this dusty ass city as the Chargers left it, basically throwing the team down. Trying to
Well,
get that but lo and behold, once he hands the mic to Solo, Solo does
oh no, okay.
no, there's no I love you this time. Thank God. Uh Solo doesn't mention a word and just walks out the ring. Which according to some sources, I heard that was a last minute change.
You
Because
think?
he was supposed to talk. But I guess with him not saying anything, change the dynamic, and probably we might see the separation between Tama and Solo, Tama and Jacob with Solo.
Well, let's see what
Uh,
happens. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's too early. But if this means that we're gonna get that Jacob Fatu that we know, it's gonna make an impact. No pun intended. A little bit. Well,
well, Impact is gonna make this coming Saturday in Saturday night's main event because they announced later on that Jacob Fatu is going against Braun Strowman,
yep.
which that to me that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because Strowman comes out after everything and all that, and then this is just this is gonna be a showcase for Jacob for me.
Of course, especially as again, no pun intended, as a solo act, because this is a one-on-one match, even though there's going to be interference, but we are going to see a Jacob in a one-on-one match finally.
Then we get the Motor City Machine Guns against Los Garzas. I love this match. The only thing I did not like.
Was the result?
Yep.
I kind of agree because I was analyzing this match, and I guess the the MCMG, they already gave him the titles. I don't think they're gonna be there for long. They're just there just to be okay. I'm part of WWE. If anything changes, and I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But I guess with the ongoing storyline with DIY and the titles and the interference of these teams between the Machine Guns, La Garza, and Pretty Deadly, which they play a part in this match, I guess
Which was the worst part of the match, honestly. Not a
because
fan. Because I don't know, man. It just wasn't. It didn't feel. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't enough. And for what they did, then they should have stayed away. I don't know. Not a fan, honestly. So,
Yeah, because it was, mind you, it was one of the best matches of the night,
oh yeah,
in my opinion.
oh yeah. But the result, well, not a fan again. And
Uh,
let's see what happens. Let's see what
Because,
happens.
but what I think about this was, yeah, I would have given the Garza um the victory since they had a victory last week, but I guess they're pushing Garza to take care pretty deadly, while the Machine Guns are gonna have the tag team opportunity, the opportunity for the titles in a couple, let's say in a couple weeks. And then until that's done, then I guess the other teams they have to literally wait in line. Then after that, backstage, pretty deadly. DIY chastising pretty deadly for screwing up the plan. But then Apollo Cruz saying "I told you so" until he gets slapped by Gargano, saying to keep my name out of your mouth. Like, bro, it took you weeks for you to say that. Like, you do realize he's been saying that for weeks because he knows what you're doing. I found it funny though
My
that it took
God,
him this long to react.
bro, that was bad.
We go on to the next match due to a backstage altercation between B-Fab and B-Fab Michin and Madam US Champion, is now that's how she's called, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. We got a match: Piper Niven versus B-Fab.
And they set up this match backstage when Chelsea was entering the room, and then Piper was clearing out everything. Great job. And then BFAT was like with Michin and all that, and they got this when BFAT said, "Well, I'm gonna talk to Nick Aldis, and this is how we got this match." Go ahead.
And for a talent that doesn't wrestle much, excuse me, B-Fab did not look bad.
No, because it,
With
it was a really short match. I think in a longer match, I think we have to wait and see. But she did great, honestly.
Well, yeah, of course. Her B-Fab's last match was that triple threat a month ago. But remember, we're talking about three people, more time, and she didn't have that much to interact.
Correct.
But here you have B-Fab with Piper Niven, who's already a veteran, and she helped out and made her look good, which helped immensely for B-Fab.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
B-Fab looked like $1 million thanks to Piper Niven. And we got to give credit also to Piper for that Secret Service gimmick that she's been doing.
Yeah, she's doing great. She's doing great.
And then
Um,
we can't count out Madam US Champion Chelsea Green. Remember, we have to address our US champion by that moniker now.
man, she's great right now. She's doing great, and I think uh, it's it's doing something really interesting. And I think we're gonna talk about Chelsea's way of working herself into this championship for years to come. She's
Of
doing
course.
great.
And anyone who says otherwise, you have to check how hard she worked last year. So don't give me any of that. Oh no, she don't deserve to be. Man, that she deserved to be champion and more. So
The spot
no,
that she did at Money in the Bank for so Tiffany can, you know, uh, went upstairs after she did break all those tables and all that. That was a great finish, and I think that was one of the reasons that she got this, and well deserved, in my opinion.
of course. And then afterwards, the way she built up the dumpster match back in October, November with
Yeah,
Machine.
yeah.
All the vignettes of her not wanting to be in that dumpster,
Oh yeah,
like stuff like that is when you see when the talents really working their asses off.
agree, agree.
And with Piper taking this victory, it also helps her since she's her second.
Oh yeah. So that was really good. And speaking of really good, um, KO and Ray.
A decent match. I would say this was I would say the match of the night, but I tie it with the tag team match from earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ray didn't do much of the work. Ray didn't do much of the work, but I'm not saying he was, he called it a day because you're wrestling Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens did most of the work, and especially since we're in Ray's hometown of San Diego, I guess the two put on a great match.
Well, after how the Padres played in the playoff in baseball, they gotta find something to share. So Rey Mysterio is always a safe bet. So
Poor Padres, they're never gonna get away from that loss.
and they're gonna suck this year too. So
It's
I'll
another story for another day.
oh yeah, I'll be here. Well, KO over Ray, great. And then when he was gonna show respect, he attacked Ray and of course Cody with the entrance music and everything. As always, no fireworks, thank God. Because I was gonna.
Oh no! Can you imagine if Cody was running and then wait, let me stop, whoa, and then run to the ring while Owens was gonna do it, but he was gonna Jeff Hardy Rey Mysterio.
Holy
Because
shit.
remember, Matt Hardy's getting his ass jumped by 7 guys. Everybody's waiting for Jeff. Jeff comes out running, but not before he does his thing before he saves his brother. I'm like, damn, your brother could have been, in worse shape, and you decide to do your dance. Like, come on.
Idiot.
Like, and Cody, you didn't need the music. Like, what was the use? Oh, and speaking of Cody and Kevin, there's been this thing going around throughout the night about some contract signing.
Yeah.
Signing a contract.
Oh, I'm not gonna sign it before he signs it. I'm not gonna. And then Nick Aldis was like, you know what? Then we're gonna sign this at Saturday's night main event in San Antonio, Texas. And you know who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be the one in charge of this? None other than Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper,
Ironically, in his hometown.
Shawn Michaels.
And it's fitting, but to be honest, it's gonna sound stupid. Originally, I thought it was gonna be Austin because usually for that type of thing, they use him. But I'm thinking once he said San Antonio was on, okay, they're gonna go with Sean. And remember, Cody and Owens have a ladder match, and who do they credit as the originator of it? Shawn Michaels.
Yes, sir.
So it fits perfectly.
Yeah. We'll see
And,
what happens.
and this contract signing, they should have done this shit weeks ago.
I
And
think
the
I think this is gonna push a little bit more the ticket sales. I think it's a little bit slow right now. That's my take on it.
Well, they're promoting the hell out of the show that's going to be in Indianapolis in the stadium. So who knows how many tickets have been sold so far? But I guess that's probably why they're doing it. But the reason I say that it took a while for this contract signing because
Well, we got an update. Before the announcement of um Sean, um, let me see. Let's see. Dynamite, nobody goes there anyway. Let me see. All right. So before the announcement, uh, the current setup. This is thanks to WrestleTix on X. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for this information. Um, WWE Saturday's night main event in San Antonio from the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. The current setup is going to be 13,617 seats. And as of before the Shawn Michaels announcement, uh, the available tickets was 1,285. Then, after the announcement, that number changed to 638 tickets left. So
It
that
worked.
guy,
It
he's
worked.
still,
He's
yeah,
still selling. He's still selling
he
tickets.
sells tickets, man. So that's what's going on. And I don't know if this, um, let me see. The event that hasn't been moving quite well is the SmackDown before the Rumble. It's still, they still got over almost 3,000 tickets left. So it hasn't been moving well. Hopefully they can do something. Um, uh, Let me see if I can get the information about the Rumble as of now. Let me see.
Yeah, as you look for that, this contract signing, I thought the reason I mentioned it was weeks ago, that should have done it weeks ago, because you know that Cody has this. Oh, it's on site with Owens that every time he sees him, he's gonna try to beat the crap out of him.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking that they're gonna repeat, and since we all know who's booking, this is Triple H. They was gonna take a storyline from Triple H and Austin when they signed a contract that they couldn't touch each other.
I
That's what I
remember that.
thought they should. Which ironically is around this time, ironically this time of year in 2001, and it was after the Rumble.
So the information again from WrestleTix, the Rumble uh, is 57,583, and there's only 2,200 available tickets right now. So they're almost to a sold out. So I believe that they're gonna keep announcing names for the Rumble, and I think it's gonna go sold out.
Yeah,
So
I
thank
think
you
it's
to
only like
WrestleTix on Twitter, X, however you want to call. Thank you guys. So hopefully that's gonna make something here, and then I'm not gonna go into much detail here. Bailey with Roxanne at ringside, which didn't make any difference. Um, so Tiffany retains her title in the main event of SmackDown on January 17, 2025. Nothing happened. Nothing happened with Roxanne. Only they were like, oh, nothing happened. Nothing.
they
Nothing.
agreeing face to face that
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing. Nothing.
She
So
just wasted. She just wasted a seat.
yeah,
Hell, the hype package before this with Charlotte Flair was much better than their face to face.
exactly. So I don't know, man. It's I don't know, bro. It was, and they gave this match 20 minutes, and
Yeah, they gave this match was pretty long, and the match wasn't bad. It was an okay match because there were moments that they moved kind of slow. It was kind of dragging a bit.
so Bailey went to Raw looking for a fight or to make a statement in her hometown. Then she went to NXT to confront Roxanne and yada yada. Roxanne go to SmackDown. Nothing happens, and then Bailey, after showing her face and her BBL on all of the shows, nothing happened. Okay.
Her week should have been capped off of Roxanne costing her the title on this one. That's logic dictates that the person you confronted before, whether days or weeks before, shows up at an important match. You were supposed to cost her any way possible, not
Exactly.
just sit there and bicker and laugh. Ha ha, you lost if you did not do anything.
To make that happen. So uh SmackDown comes to an end. Thumbs down. Yeah.
I agree on this one because there was points that it was dragging. There was some questionable decisions, but this is just our opinion, guys.
If you agree or not, comment down
Write
below.
down. Yeah, exactly. Write down in the comments. We'll read them. Would you just give your opinions of how you like the shows, how you vision it, how you would envision some booking decisions of what we mentioned, or any recommendations? Just go right ahead. Those comments are open for you guys.
Yeah. So
And for
now,
that concludes the week of in wrestling.
oh, let's go. Let's go with this. The worst of the week.
Hmm.
The worst part of the week.
Damn. Where? What? If you got something, big bro, spill it out.
Seth Rollins on Raw,
Oh,
Rich Holland and Eddie Thorpe on NXT, and Cody Rhodes on SmackDown.
wow. Well, I guess for the NXT part, I agree. I agree with the Ridge and Eddie because they really screwed up a very good opening segment.
Yep.
On SmackDown, I'm gonna add Roxanne's unnecessary appearance
Okay.
on SmackDown.
Okay. Good. Good. That's it. Are you
I
sure?
think. Well, I think that's plus on SmackDown. Also on SmackDown, I think questionable booking decisions. The tag team match, it should have went the other way around. So I think to me that was the worst.
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
Okay. Well, let's go to the other side. What about the best?
the best of the best of the best. What can I put as the best?
Raw, Penta, and Shaq
I,
Gable.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with that. That was the best thing of the whole week.
And then the in ring of Gunther. That was amazing. Uh, NXT. Uh, I don't have anything for NXT. And then SmackDown. Kevin Owens doing what he needs to do. So that was great. That's what
And,
I have.
and especially that shirt because I like the way he's playing with the dusty imagery.
Yeah. So it was good and it worked and it worked. And I think it's gonna um help this storyline with um with Cody and
With Cody Flair, excuse me, Rhodes.
exactly. Uh and then Kevin Owens, and I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully we get a good match, and that the setup with Shawn Michaels next week at Saturday's Night Main Event ignites a little bit more what I think is going to be a great match. Hopefully.
Oh, we all know since it's gonna be a ladder match. Don't be. I will say don't be surprised if that opens the event, but we'll talk about that once we get to the predictions.
Yep. Yep. So their predictions are going to be in Spanish, but I'm gonna I'm gonna write down in the comments all of her picks and all that, so you guys can know what's going on. And that's it for me today. Go ahead, let's get out of here. Well, it was
And
fun.
that is it. We would like to thank you for this premiere episode in English from Nacion Kayfabe. Find us in every platform possible: Facebook, X, Instagram. Well, I would say the clock, but there's some controversy on that, so we not
Yeah,
might not it's not good to mention that for the time being. But also on YouTube and Spotify,
we're on video
and we're on video.
on Spotify, so be looking out for that and comment down below and all that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
Give a thumbs up.
Thank you for being here. This is just something that we started just doing, and it's been requested so many times. So hopefully we can find the time to keep on doing it. Hopefully you enjoy it, and follow us and be on the lookout for more. So go ahead, take us home, baby.
Let's go.
This was Nacion Kayfabe. See you next time. Bye.